5 minutes to 12 on the 28th of April, Nepal was struck by an earthquake, the largest they had seen in nearly 100 years. A strike measuring 7.8 on the Richter scale. Approximately 9,000 people were killed. 23,000 people were injured and hundreds of thousands lost their homes. Nothing underlines the power of an earthquake more than this scene. The main road that leads from Kathmandu to China was totally flat. Now has fallen by about 2 meters. A visible scar on the land, and a scar that will affect this country and its people for a long time to come. The vast clear-up process has begun and life here moves on. Both young and old have their part to play. And amongst the ruins, I joined students from the rising English school in Bhaktapur as they made their way to lessons, and I caught up with their founder, Kapil Benapali.
After the earthquake, we made a survey to discover how many students and their families had been affected. 117 families have been affected, including 7 deaths. 1 child from the nursery school, 2 mothers, 2 grandmothers, and 2 grandfathers.
117 homes were destroyed and 250 people connected to the school were given sanctuary on the schoolyard for over a month. And since the reopening of the school, it has been a support mechanism for the children both practically and mentally, to such a degree that by now some children can actually discuss their experiences.
That was my house. हामीलाई त्यहाँ earthquake भुलाउन खेलायो.
To help us forget the earthquake, Mr. Kapil has lots of games to play in the school. He makes us laugh with silly jokes and we get to dance.
अनि हामीलाई त्यहाँ dance गरायो.
But this image will always remain. This is Roshik and Roshika's mother witnessing the remains of their home being dragged away. Many families currently live in campsites like this, forced to live here having lost their homes. Many others decide to stay, too afraid to return to those damaged buildings in the city. And this, at the moment, is the home of one of the families of the Rising Culture School. Namaste.
अनि भूकम्प आएपछि नि सबै
When the earthquake came, my sister broke her leg in the rubble and my grandmother passed away. We moved to this open area, and at first it wasn't very organised, but after some time we were eventually given tents. I live here with 6 other families, and we are 30 people in all. We don't argue, and we love everybody who lives here.
So we are happy.
The school was opened in 1988 with only 87 children attending. Now there are over 200, with many students going on to achieve success in further education. As with all schools, the core subjects take priority. But this school offers so much more. Kapil believes that culture should be a lifelong subject.
We were determined to preserve our rich historical culture. We were in danger of losing our traditional dances and music. So we decided to develop this area in a practical way.
Such was the importance of this that 2 specialist teachers in dance and music were employed and entrusted with this task.
One cannot separate music from the human race. They are one.
It has been written in the scriptures that dance has existed since creation.
We felt that this school could act as a facilitator to pass on the old traditions of our forefathers to the new generation.
Have you had one? It's the flag of Wales in a red dragon. Before leaving the school, a quick chance to share some presents with the children and show them that we in Wales have the odd dance to share too. Hey! Well done. Da iawn. Hello, Cymru! Thank you. But nothing had prepared me for the next stage of my journey, a trip to Durpas Square, one of the most important historical sites in the country, most of which has withstood the power of the earthquake. A traditional Hindu welcome and an incredible dance celebrating the god Indri defeating the evil Daityas.
Dance and music help us forget about the horrors of the earthquake. And when we perform, we are in our own little world.
Our ancestors danced this way, and now I've learnt them. This is why I love to dance so much.
Well, we've truly had an amazing welcome here. Now, the initial hope, by the way, was that all of these children were able to compete in Llangollen, but because of the current situation, only these 5 are able to make the trip. And at the moment, a week before the festival, we're still waiting to hear if they'll get their visas. But for now, namaste.
Namaste.